This heart is so blue. Who can mend my broken drum? Will it be as good as new? I must play when morning comes. If I don't, what shall I do? He keeps.
Hello, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. You're on to Augustine again, one of the many voices within the Kringle Private Society. And I'm here again to give us another broadcast. There is what you call your calling in life. Your calling in life can be likened to people who play football. Now, they enjoy playing football, and as very little as they were, they kept enjoying playing football until somehow they started being paid for doing what they liked doing. That they had a hobby, and their hobby was playing football, and then they kept playing football until the point where they started paying them, and then somehow several people started, asking for their hand to play with them. That is several clubs, several countries. I would like to buy you at a certain amount of pounds, sometimes 25 million pounds, sometimes 15 million pounds, and then they're like, wow, and they become hot cake. Now, that's what it looks like to enjoy doing your passion, and they'll continue to do it and continue until their time expires. It's the same thing that is applying to the Kringle Private Society. Being a broadcaster is real business. If you are not having the call to be a broadcaster, you will start, and at some point, because it's not what you enjoy doing, you will find out that you snap. Once you snap, you withdraw. Now, I'm a broadcaster, and I enjoy broadcasting. I enjoy passing on the right information. I like helping the Kringle Private Society grow to where they are supposed to get to. And I am trusting God to continue at the pace at which I am moving until we've moved into our economy phase. Now, if you're listening to me for the very first time, I would appreciate it if you can subscribe to my channel, give me a thumbs up, because we are a united community moving into a world of abundance, out of the world of slavery. That's what we are doing. If you are in agreement, then a thumbs up is a sign that yes, I agree with you. And then being someone that is giving me a thumbs up actually implies that you are a member within the Kringle Private Society. If you are not yet a member, I would advise that you should come in at this point. Take your time to look through my previous videos. It shall give you some insight as to what has been happening in the Kringle Private Society. And as long as you are keeping yourself up to date, I believe that you will take your position, because our system is built on a concept called meritocracy. So I wouldn't want to belabor the point. Today, the title of my broadcast is going to be The Economics of Digital Currencies. Let me say it again. The economics of digital currencies. Now, let's quickly move into the content of today. What is economics? And all right, now this is Google. Google has given us the interpretation, and it is their interpretation that we are going to work with. Now, what is economics? Economics is the branch of knowledge concerned with the production, consumption, and transfer of wealth. Let's say it again. Economics is a branch of knowledge concerned with the production, consumption, and transfer of wealth. Now, if we are implying it now to the Kringle Private Society, that clearly means we have something that we are producing. What is it that we are producing? We have Kringles. That is what we are producing. And then we are not only producing it, we are also distributing it. It has a system from where it's coming from. Those of you who understand the history of Kringle Private Society you would understand that it came in from somewhere. Now look at the previous video, this particular video that I made, this particular one. Yes, why you should embrace TBC as the currency of the people. This explains it in proper details. Quickly, let me go back to what I was saying. We have what we are producing. Take your time to look through that video. The second condition of economics is the condition of a region or group as regards material prosperity. So what we are actually saying here is, in economics, it is a system that kind of creates economy or creates a kind of balance in the world. Now, economics has to deal with buying, selling, demand, supply. That is all. Now, there is something that piqued my attention here: production, consumption, and transfer of wealth. Now, this is um, in um, in alignment with digital currencies. At this point, there is a transfer of wealth going on from a paper-based system to an abundance-based system that is purely encrypted. You are the one that will pick where you want to be in this process of wealth transfer. I also want you to know that in the Kringle Private Society, nothing is static. Nothing is static. Everything is in a constant state of flux, meaning that you could be in the top position this day and the next day you are out. Why? Because you refuse to do what you are supposed to do. What are those things? The system was clear: perform certain beneficial tasks that will be of profit to the Kringle Private Society and that will help in moving us towards our what point of mass adoption and economy. Now, following these systems is what would help you keep your positions and will continue to build into what abundance. Now, get this and then let this be at the back of your mind. So, being said, the next thing we are moving into is what? The first system of economics, which is Bitcoin. Now, the reason why I'm going to talk about Bitcoin is because we in the Kringle Private Society, as mass adoption team members, are being paid with Bitcoin. We are paid with Bitcoin. Now, we also have Kringle coins that are used within us in a community. Now, merchants are coming in. By next month, those who are in the mass adoption team, this is a very, very quick announcement. If you are in the mass adoption team, start getting yourself ready. From the month of June, you have to bring at least 2 people that are under you, meaning that everybody who are in the mass adoption team should start getting ready to take part in Bitcoin bounty. That is step number 1. Step number 2, on the month of July, you have to go out there and bring in merchants. By then, we must have built a very sustainable wallet that will be able to accommodate micro transactions. Put this at the back of your mind because next month is already at the corner. If you are unwilling to do that, I'm sorry, you are going to step aside. Like I said, nothing is what static. We are in a constant state of flux until we have grown into a point of what global adoption. Now, enough said on economics. You could check out that. Now let's move into the content number 1 concerning Bitcoin. Now, Bitcoin Clock. This is a website I saw which interested me. I mean, I picked interest in it, and I think it is very, very needful that we understand what's up. How many more days do we have to the melting down or to the halving of Bitcoin? 2 days, 13 hours, 33 minutes. Now, quickly, let's understand what Bitcoin is as regards or in collaboration, in agreements, or as pertaining to economics. We're going to understand that the people who created these Bitcoins are geniuses. We don't know who these people are. They are geniuses that saw things in the future as far back as 2008, and they predicted how a model will be, and they said by faith that the world will embrace this system and will work with this system in the coming future. They did it and the system started. Let's take time and look through, and then after that we move into TBC, and the same principles that apply to Bitcoin is similar to that of TBC, but then slightly different. I would explain it to the best of my understanding. So do stay with me. What is Bitcoin halving or halvening? New Bitcoins are issued by the Bitcoin network every 10 minutes. For the first 4 years of Bitcoin's existence, the amount of new Bitcoins issued every 10 minutes was 50. Every 4 years, this number is cut in half. The day the amount halves is called a halving or halvening. Now, in 2012, the amount of new Bitcoins issued every 10 minutes dropped from 50 Bitcoins to 25. In 2016, it dropped from 25 to 12.5. Now, in the year 2020, halving, it will drop from 12.5 towards 6.25. That clearly means there is a continual decrease in the supply of Bitcoin. Around 2008, when it came out, the rate of supply was so much, it was so much, and people thought less of what Bitcoin was. There was no demand for Bitcoin. There was no abundance, there was abundant demand. That is, there wasn't a rise for Bitcoin demand as at 2008, 2009, 2010. It was about 2011, 2012 that slowly people started seeing what Bitcoin meant and how reliable it is and what it intended to achieve on a global scale. And then the demand started coming in. Now, 2010, 2011, 2012, then after some time, demand now started coming in and it became quite obvious. Now, as that started happening, the supply began to reduce. Now, this is clear. The principle of demand and supply is simple. The principle of demand clearly says when the prices of goods goes up, the demand for it goes down. The principle of supply clearly says when the prices of goods go up, the supply also goes high. But in the system of Bitcoin, you'll find out that the demand is rising by the day and the supply is reducing. What does that now imply? It implies that the price of Bitcoin over time would slowly grow up. And once it grows up, it gets almost impossible to have Bitcoin. And at now, what is the amount of Bitcoin? Let's find out how much Bitcoin is. As at now,
secret peace, for he keeps the beat of marching feet.
as at now, the price of Bitcoin is about 9,699. Now, between now and the end of this month, it is very possible that Bitcoin can appreciate to about 10,000, 11,000, 12,000. Now, this is what you call real concept of economics. This goes contrary to what the system is doing. The banks, the World Banks, the IMF, and every other system that is based on debt, that is printing money and printing money. There is no benchmark, there is no hedge, there is nothing to control the rate at which money is being printed again and again and again. Now, that clearly means that the system is going to crumble shortly from now. If you are listening to me on this particular broadcast, I want you to please take this initiative because the system has switched from a paper system into a digital system. You may be too blind to see it, but I am telling you that the system has shifted. If you want to make investments and keep your money over time, sure that your money will not depreciate, please start thinking digital currencies. Now, I am not emphasizing much on Bitcoin. The reason why I'm showing this is because you should understand that if you are being paid as a member in the Kringle Private Society, understand that your money is a secure money. It's the money that is worth it. But there is something that differentiates Bitcoin from the Kringle Private Society. Now, let's continue and quickly finish with what we're saying. Now, what is the significance of Bitcoin block halving? The halving decreases the amount of new Bitcoins generated per block. This means the supply of new Bitcoins are lower or is lower over time. In normal markets, lower supplies with steady demand usually lead towards higher prices. But as at now, the normal market does not apply to the system that is coming in because it's obvious that the demand is now rising for Bitcoin. And then for the supply, it is reducing, meaning that each time there is actually a reduction, it is not It is not artificial scarcity. Some people will say no, that Bitcoin is actually becoming scarce. It's the system was designed that way. Now, as long as that system was designed that way, that's how it will remain. Obviously, the price will go up and up and up, and it becomes something of value to hold Bitcoin. The world are slowly embracing it. Since the halving reduces the supply of new Bitcoins and demand usually remains steady, the halving has usually preceded some of Bitcoin's largest runs. That actually means that before the halving takes place, it causes the prices of Bitcoins to really skyrocket. Now, look at this particular image. This image showed the halvings as at 2012 to 2016. Now, this was the first time the price it went up, and then the first halving it caused it to go up, and then after a while, after 4 years, another halving. Now, this is how it's going to be on the year 2020. Do not miss out of the opportunity that is coming. Now, you may have missed out of Bitcoin because you can't afford it, but now another one has come up. It is called the billion coin. If you miss this opportunity, there may never be another option again. Please pay attention. Now, I have been able to explain the economics behind Bitcoin, and I am sure that we have understood it. If you have not yet understood it, well, make your own research. I do not have the luxury of time to continue to emphasize again and again on Bitcoin, but it is good you understand why I am talking about this first, because we are being paid as members in the Kringle Private Society with Bitcoin for those that are in the mass adoption team and that are involving in the rotator program. That is why I am emphasizing on this. That clearly means the Bitcoin you are having over time will become very, very invaluable. This is a system where people will be storing their money. In the Kringle Private Society, those who are in the mass adoption team will no more be keeping their money in bank. They are going to be keeping their money in the TBC or Kringle cash. Why is that? Simple, because they are being paid by their upline. They are being paid by their downline. Sorry. When they bring in people using their referral link, 50% goes to them. The first payment they receive. The second payment they will receive is going to be from the administration. Now, the third payment, I'm going to talk about the third payment shortly. Now, let me move into Kringle Cash. Now, the principle or the concept behind Kringles. Now, I'm going to use this particular image to explain in details how that system that applies in Bitcoin will apply in the Kringle Private Society. In this Kringle Private Society, those of us who are having access to these articles, you would bear witness with me that the first six ladders are the mass adoption team members. These are the people that are going to create economy in the Kringle Private Society. These are the people that are going to be paid 30 TBCs if they pay their admin fee regularly every month until the admin's wallet is emptied. These are the people that are going to become the co-administrators when we have come to our economy phase. These are the people that will be paid every month a little amount as at now, and at a certain point will be paid as much as 500,000 per month. And it is also should be put in your mind that this money is not your own. It is money that should be used to build the Kringle Private Society, to be able to help the motherless babies, to be able to help to build hospital, to be able to help to do a number of things. People that are helpless, you give life and help to them, and we recreate the world that the elite system has destroyed. This is the first six people. Now, we should also bear in mind that to whom much is given, much is required. These people are select people that will cut across the entire world. You are the one that will decide if you are going to take part in this category or not. If you fail to take part in this category, you are going to be replaced. These are the first six people. These are the people that will be the banks when we get to the economy phase. Now, there are some people which are this level, the millionaire phase, 1, 2, 3. These people are going to be people that will be paid as little as 0.0001 TBC. These people are the people that are going to be having little Kringle coins to be able to help to run some daily activities. It is going to be very similar to the banking system. You can imagine some billionaires, you may need to engage in some projects, but because you are short of funds, you may need to go to the bank, borrow some money, put in a collateral, and then bring in one or two guarantors who are having almost the same amount of money, most times government officials, who will stand in on your behalf so that the government, the banks can release such money for you. And after a certain period of time, you pay back. Now, in this, our system is a system built on equity-based financing, not debt-based financing. Therefore, we would not need any collateral from you. If these people are coming to borrow money from us, we are going to lend them money, but we'll go into agreements. We are going to go into partnership such that we are going to have a certain amount of share in whatever proposal that they want to engage upon. And then once the proposal has been carried out and it's successful, we are going to have some certain amount of profit from the money that they have chosen to involve in, or the venture that have decided to involve in. That is how our system is going to be. So that clearly means that at a certain point, you will find out that from the administration's wallet, these first six ladders will be receiving 30 TBCs every month, while on the ladder, this second ladder, which are the backup teams, they'll be getting 1 TBC if they pay on the first of every month. Now, on this other ladder, this particular one, if they pay on the first of every month, they'll be getting 0.0001 TBC on the first. If they pay on the second, they'll get 0.00009 on the second. So you find out that they will have very little Kringles, and by then you should have pictured that the mass adoption team members would have gone around, brought in merchants to the Kringle Private Society. Merchants would have been accepting Kringles, would have been having as much as 25 to 50,000 merchants, possibly only in this country, Nigeria. Some other countries will also have so many amounts of merchants. Once that has happened, liquidity has come in. If you look into your Kringle cash, you'll find out that there was a place that said the number of merchants that are in the Kringle Private Society will determine the liquidity of TBC or Kringles in the Kringle Private Society. Therefore, merchants in this community are expedient. We can't do without them. These are the people that are going to help us to get to our goals. However, being a merchant will be handsomely rewarded. If you are a person intending to be a merchant, after this particular broadcast, you could call my attention. I could teach you what it takes to become a merchant and what you stand to gain as a merchant. So therefore, like the Bitcoin system goes about halving. Miners are getting a certain amount of Bitcoin for a certain amount of time because it is a process that has already been configured. Same thing has been applied also in the Kringle Private Society. The amount of coins that will be released from the admin wallet will continue to reduce and reduce by the day as the community continues to expand. You will be the one to decide where you want to belong, whether you are going to be in the mass adoption team or in the backup team, or in the team A category millionaire, or the team B category millionaire, or team C category millionaire. By the time it has come to this level, you'll find out that the amount of coins that will be distributed will be so little that hardly would they have used it to do anything, and it has finished. You will now find out that there will be a synergy between these 3 layers and these 6 layers. You'll find out that there's going to be proper synergy between these 3 layers and these 6 layers. These ones are going to be backups. I do not know the major responsibility that these ones are going to play, but I know that they are going to be go-betweens. They'll be kind of intermediaries to stand and then help these ones. Peradventure, one or two things has hindered these ones from attending to these ones. So it's going to be a thing of interdependency upon each other. These ones that are here are going to employ staff, and they will pay those staffs. Now, when they are short of funds, they go to these ones to seek financial help from them. And then these ones will go into agreements with these ones. So therefore, these ones are going to be having several companies. They're going to be having several shares in different companies. These ones will be having as much as 1,000 shares with several organizations, because those organizations belong to this category of people who have brought in ideas, but because they cannot fund those ideas, and Kringles has become very acceptable, it is these ones that will help to fund those ideas. So you see, these ones will end up helping the rest of humanity, and these ones will be depending on these ones. Now, these ones are going to be the ones every month they'll be paid by their downline 50%, And then the same month, the administration pays them. And then when these ones needs money, they come to these ones, and then they give them a certain amount of coins, either Bitcoin or currency of this one's choice. It could be US dollars, it could be rands, it could be yens, it could be anything, whichever currency it is, because it cuts across different countries. Now, of course, these people have abundant Kringle coins, and these Kringle coins are useless in their hands. But because there is demand for it and it's in their own hand, they will need to give it out. Giving it out means it's going to be on a peer-to-peer basis. So they give it out and they collect something in return. They could collect lands in return. They could collect agreements or partnership. They could collect shares, whatever thing that they deem necessary to collect, they will collect it. So you find out that these guys are going to be the new set of elites. They are going to be the new Bill Gates of the hour. But the difference is that these ones are going to have righteous virtues. They are going to be people who have persevered, who have been persistent, who has been patient, who has loved righteousness, who have been sincere. People who you can do business with and you're not afraid that they will dupe you. People who will represent the Kringle Private Society and they will represent them very well. That is what these ones will be. So what do you think as a member in the Kringle Private Society? Are you seeing the Kringle Private Society as more valuable in comparison to Bitcoin? Do not forget that the bulk of coins that Bitcoin has are in the hands of the elite. But this one is not in the hands of the elite. It's in the hands of ordinary men like you and I. Those who are able to step up to the responsibility are the ones that will enjoy it. I am going to stop here for today. Like I said, the title of my broadcast is The Economics of Digital Currencies, in brackets TBC and Bitcoin. So if you enjoyed this broadcast, please subscribe to my channel. I'll be bringing you more interesting episodes. If you want to become a member in the Kringle Private Society, the opportunity is still there to be in the team A or in the team B. Please choose wisely. I am not the one to tell you the one to choose, but be responsible for the choices you make. I'm going to stop here for today. We shall come again very soon. I do not know when, possibly today or tomorrow morning, as the case may be. Do have a wonderful weekend. Cheers and God bless you. Bye for now.
So blue.